And he's just sort of concluding that scene about saying, isn't it amazing that we use so many different words to say the same thing? And speaking of words, interesting little segue, here are some words from the Twin Cities of Minnesota, Minneapolis and St. Paul. And right behind him, we see Minnesota coming off of the map and sort of flying in front of him. And for whatever reason, the Minnesota state's puzzle piece kind of looks like it's made of a bale of hay. So LeVar disappears, and now we see the Minnesota state right in front of us. And then these doors magically open up. For a kid like me who's really interested in doors, I thought this was really interesting. And inside there are two kids named Michael and Daniel, and they are twins who had just moved to the Twin Cities, St. Paul and Minneapolis, in their new home state, Minnesota. And then they spend a minute talking about all the cool things they have in Minnesota. They say it's called the land of 10,000 lakes, which is great for swimming, fishing, and canoeing. And one of the boys says, and if all that exercise makes you thirsty, help yourself to our state drink. It's milk. And then we see a little 1 second shot of a cow. That little clip right there is actually reused footage from the episode The Milk Makers, which is kind of weird because I don't think that episode was shot in Minnesota. I think they kind of cheated a little bit right there. I believe that was a dairy farm in California. We'll actually take a look at the Milk Makers episode next month, so I'll check the credits on that one, see if I can find where that dairy farm was. Then the other brother says, we even have a state muffin, the blueberry. What's yours? For some reason, when I was a kid, I kind of missed the blueberry line, and then I see him holding this pastry, and he says, the blueberry. And I thought to myself, that doesn't look like a blueberry to me. I mean, it might have blueberries in it, but why are you just calling it the blueberry? I missed the muffin part. And we actually see a picture of blueberries right behind him. Okay, now we're cooking. There's the famous Mall of America sign, each with the individual letters on those posts there, and there's all those stars underneath each letter. I don't know if that same sign is still there today. Let me just take a quick little look-see. Oh, what an age we live in. I like Google Maps, I like these street views. Okay, the most recent street image I can find is from February 2022, and it looks like that exterior sign is still there, although the bottom parts right beneath the stars used to be red, and they just painted them over either white or gray. This is at the corner of Lindau Lane and South 24th Avenue, and right behind that sign is the, well, now former Sears store. Depending on how good of a quality you're looking at this episode, you can kind of see the white Sears sign right behind it. And if you know the shape of the building, you definitely know that that's Sears, because on the right corner of the Sears building is that little triangular part there, that little fancy section of the building on the corner. And from there to the Sears logo, there's those little brown squares. You can, I can't really see that too good on the show. But anyway, there's all those flags right behind the Mall of America sign. And yeah, the picture kind of pans up and you can see the American flag there. That's perfect. And of course, to the left, that's the east parking garage of Mall of America. Now, we don't really see the retail part of the mall very much on the show. Actually, we don't see it at all. They just show us the interior of the amusement park. Back then, it was called Camp Snoopy, and now it's Nickelodeon Universe. So we got this really nice overview of the indoor amusement park here, and the kid says, Minnesota is home of the amazing Mall of America. It's so big, it's got an indoor roller coaster, a Ferris wheel, and an aquarium. I believe the aquarium is still there. It was originally called Adventure Aquarium. What's it called now? Is it still that? Or am I thinking of the one in New Jersey? The one in New Jersey is called Adventure Aquarium. What's the one in Mall of America? Sea Life, that's what it's called. Sea Life at Mall of America. Okay. Was it always called Sea Life? Sea Life at Mall of America, formerly known as Sea Life Minnesota Aquarium. Okay, so it was... Okay, opened in 96 under the name Underwater World, reopened in 2000, around the time that this episode was filmed, changed its name to Underwater Adventures Aquarium, rebranded as Sea Life Center in March 2011. Okay, so the aquarium's always been there, and it's still there today. That's nice to know. Another really cool thing about the pictures of the theme park is that all the ceilings, you can see all the metal rafters, and you can see all the skylights there. When I was a kid, skylights were one of my favorite things, especially after visiting the York Galleria Mall, which is not far from where I live. I live in Lancaster, and York Galleria is just about a half hour from here. That mall has tons of beautiful skylights and a lot of really cool architecture. And I always wanted to go to Mall of America, and I still kind of do someday. That's one of the things that's on my bucket list, to travel to Minnesota to see Mall of America. And also, this other thing that the kids mention, this place called the Walker Arts Center in Minneapolis, which is home of the country's biggest sculpture garden. There's another cool picture here. It looks like some kind of aviary or conservatory or something. Is that actually part of the Walker Arts Center, or is that something else? Yeah, so apparently there is a conservatory at the Walker Arts Center. Cowles, Cowles Conservatory. Frank Gehry Standing Fish. Frank Gehry was a famous architect. He designed that art piece, and yeah, I always wondered what that interesting looking thing was. Like, it kind of flashed by so fast on the show here, I was never quite sure, but that looks really cool. I want to see that too if I ever get up to Minnesota. And there's also a interesting thing here where you see these two people walking through what looks like a hallway made out of plants and grass. Wonder if that's still there. Not sure. I assume that's part of the sculpture garden. So anyway, the last thing that we see in this segment is this big sculpture of what looks like a spoon with a cherry on it. Spoon, bridge, and cherry. Can you actually walk across that thing? I don't know. Probably not. I wouldn't want people to do that. Anyways, I conclude by saying, so come on up to Minnesota. You'll have twice as much fun.